Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this video we are going to complete the Through the Window project. I will walk you through every step of this project so that you can follow along and make something that looks really awesome and you can show it off to all of your friends. So the first step in this project is to think about what we want to create. What I'm asking you to do with Through the Window is find an image that has, a window, a big window or a series of windows. And then replace what we see through those windows with something else. So here's what I mean. Let's see. So I found this awesome looking picture here with these nice big windows in it. And I want to bring this in. What I'm going to do is composite out the window themselves. Like all the windows are going to be composited out. And then I'm going to replace this background with this image so that it's like cool, like trippy background. Now the lighting in both of these images are different enough to where I'm going to have to do some colorizing. I'm going to have to, probably place a few adjustment layers on, so on and so forth. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, Mr. Storm, you didn't tell us how big the document should be. You did last time. You told us for the holiday card, but you didn't tell us for this. Here's why. Your image is going to be based off of how big your window picture is. For example, if you find your picture and you right-click and go to Properties and then go to Details, you can see the size of your image in height and width. So this is 2,000 pixels wide by 1333 tall. So I'm going to create a new document that is 2,000 pixels wide by 1333. And I'm going to make sure the resolution is 72 pixels per square inch. I'm going to make sure it's RGB color at 16-bit. The background does not matter because we're going to replace it pretty much right now. So I'm going to click Create and let my new document be created. So now all I have to do is really just drag this picture in, and it fits exactly into my canvas, which is what I'm looking for. That's what I want. I'm going to hit Enter there, and I'm going to unlock this background layer and delete it. Okay, so now I have to get to work compositing. So there is a tool that's going to make this super, super easy. But remember, the first step in compositing is I have to rasterize my layer. So I'm going to right-click, rasterize. And now I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool because these are straight lines. Okay, so this window has a bunch of straight lines in it. So I can just go in window by window, zoom in as close as I can to see the entire window, and just click around the outline of the window, just like that, and delete. Now notice I've very cleanly cut out that window, and I'm just going to do the same for all the other windows in my picture. Now you don't have to use this same exact picture. Matter of fact, I would rather you not use the same exact picture, but find a picture that looks good, that has a big window in it, that will allow you to remove the what we see through the window. Oh. All right. And again, like always, I'm just kind of rush through this because I don't think it's very exciting watching me do this and not really explaining stuff. So I'm going to not worry about how clean it turns out. I'm just going to kind of do it. All right, almost done. Okay. All right, and one more. By the way, if you're wondering, hey, how are you getting it to scroll over like that? I always have to come down here and grab it and scroll it over. I'm holding Control. If you hold Control and scroll the mouse wheel, that goes back and forth. If you don't hold anything and you scroll the mouse wheel, that goes up and down. And if you hold Alt and scroll the mouse wheel, that zooms in. So that's how you can move around your document very, very quickly. That was gross. That was not a great composite there. So I'm going to actually cut that little bit of a sliver off right there. Boom. Okay, so now that I'm done compositing the scene out of my background, I need to bring in the new background, drop it into my document, hit enter. Now, it's on top of my window, which is not what I want. I actually want it to be behind the window. So all I have to do is just reorganize the layers down here. Just drag this below. And now you can see I have a new background, but I'm not done, okay? Notice how the lighting back here is a bit bluer than the lighting coming in here. This lighting is sunlight, and it's not really, it doesn't really match the lighting in the background. First though, I want to actually position this layer so it looks proper in the scene. Right down here, it didn't look great. It kind of feels like my apartment's floating. So let's actually get it a little bit closer to ground level so it looks a bit more like it should. That looks pretty good right there. And now I want to start matching the color. One really easy way to do this is just to apply an adjustment layer. Let's do brightness and contrast first. Lower the brightness and let's increase the contrast. That's looking good. We're already starting to match pretty well. I want to add curves is fun. So curves is kind of cool. I like curves. Curves allows you to just kind of come in here and just manipulate the curve, the color curve, and just kind of see what happens. Oh, that's way too much. And if you do it slowly, you can see the gradual color changes. So that looks good. That makes my background look a lot more vibrant. I still need to match. I still need to cool this off a lot. It's very, very warm lighting because it's sunlight. I need to make it a lot cooler. So let's bring in a new layer and let's do color balance. That's a good one. And let's see. I want to make it a lot more blue. Bring some green in, or maybe some magenta. Let's go the other way. Ooh, that's looking pretty cool. And a lot more cyan. All right. Those are my midtones. Let's go into shadows. Now, if you're watching me do this and you're like, Mr. Storm, I'm not seeing anything change. Sometimes it's hard to see the change. I like to just try a bunch of stuff until something looks great. Especially with color, it's more of an art than it is a science. You just kind of have to try stuff and see what works. And some little small changes that don't really seem like they're doing anything, smaller incremental changes can add up to make something that looks fantastic. Let's change the levels. Should we do levels? No, we don't need levels. Let's get rid of that. Delete layer. Let's bring in maybe vibrance. I like right about there. Okay, looks good to me. Other things we can do is we can bring in effects. We can add an effect. We can add something like a color overlay effect. Let's do, oh, you know what? I just noticed something. I've been making a rookie mistake the whole time. Notice where my adjustment layers are going. They're only applying to the background. I didn't notice that until then. I was wondering, I was looking at this, trying to see the color changes happening, but they weren't, this wasn't changing. And so I've been doing all this color work and none of this has been changing. Here's why. Notice where my foreground layer is. It's above all of the adjustments I've been making. So what I need to do to fix that is just drag that layer down below the adjustments and look what happened. That's the effect I was trying to achieve. And it wasn't changing and it was driving me nuts. That looks so much better, right? And now whenever I make vibrance changes, it applies to the whole document. Yeah, that's what I was going for. I was wondering why it wasn't doing anything. I was like, what's going on? I was trying to kind of like talk my way through it like I knew what I was doing. And I was actually like, the whole time in my head, I'm like, this isn't working. I might have to re-record this whole entire video. It's because I had my layer in the wrong place. See, I make mistakes too. I've been using Photoshop for almost 20 years and I made that mistake. It's going to happen, right? Now, that looks really good, by the way. This is a beautiful version of that project that we're going to turn in. Here's the thing. When you're done, I want this as a PNG. I also want both of your originals. I want the window original and the background original so I can compare them and I can see the color changes that you've made. If you just turn in something like this, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, they just got it off of the internet. Okay, whatever. I want to see the originals so that I can compare the originals versus what you've done. Just like we did in the Colorize assignment, where you turned in your black and white original and the colored version, the one that you created. Okay. This turned out really well once I figured out that I was using the wrong, or that I was doing the wrong adjustments in the wrong place. I'm pretty happy with this, actually. I might actually save this. I wasn't really expecting much out of this assignment, but I like the way this turned out. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Please let me know if you run into any issues or you have any problems, and I will be more than happy to help you out. Yeah, that's it. Have fun and enjoy this assignment because it's a good one. All right. Peace.